What's going on, you guys? Theo here with the big review, back yet again with another King of Fighters All-Star video, and today we have a pretty fun video for you guys. We're going to be taking a look at these news announcements as it pertains to the newest FES fighter that is going to be added into the unified banner, some new in-game events that were announced, and then we're going to take a look at this Rachel glitch, exploit, bug, whatever you want to call it. Who knows what it is, but we're going to break it all down, and I'm going to show you guys some footage of it with a 300+ million solo run in Guild Raid Hard Mode with Rachel. But before we do all that, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe. Helps me out a ton as a new YouTuber. So let's go ahead and get into the in-game news here first to kick things off. So we already knew over the course of the past couple of weeks, thanks to some data mines, that Mian was going to likely be our next fighter. Although, considering the Athena situation that is ongoing, we weren't entirely sure what was going to happen as far as that was concerned, but now we know. We will be getting Mian and her special card added into the game later on today, which is very exciting stuff. Hopefully she has a kit to back up kind of her overall aesthetic, because she does look really impressive as a character. She just has a really nice design, very clean, very cool. But let's go ahead. We'll take a look at the trailer, which if you guys didn't notice, in this update on the forum, CM Iori has upped his game. He actually went ahead and didn't make us do the work of posting the trailer for him. He actually put it inside the announcement, which is very nice that they started to catch on that they need to do this. But I'm going to go ahead and mute this, that way it doesn't blow out potential speakers or eardrums. If you guys want to check it out in its entirety, I'll leave the link in the description. But like I said, it's available on the forum, or if you go into your game and go to the forum tab, you can check it out there like I'm doing. But here's Mian. We've already seen her in-game assets quite a bit the past couple of weeks, but as they always do, they tend to hide things like super armor, hyper armor animations, dot animations, things of that nature in these trailers, so we don't really have a good idea of what she's going to look like under the hood yet. We won't know that until later on this evening. But from what you can gather, she's definitely going to have burn. We pretty much have that confirmed thanks to the Gigaproto data mine. But this animation for this finisher is decently long, so the card finisher is looking pretty nice. And overall, she's looking great, so I'm pretty excited for her. Hopefully she has a kit to back up her overall kind of design, but as you'll see here, this is going to be coming to us today at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and they are going to be adding both Mian to the unified banner as well as her finisher, which I am not even going to try and pronounce, to the All-Star Battle Card Summon banner. So overall, pretty nice. This is exciting stuff. Like I said, we've known about this for a while. Now, if you go on through here, it's actually going to talk about, as always, the different in-game boxes that you can purchase. And I'm not going to get too much into the packages, but I do want to point something out. You'll notice on a couple of these packages that Starlight is listed as the stone that is going to be in these packages. So that was not just a placeholder asset like we had kind of theorized. If it weren't for the fact that they had this on here, I would be more apt to just go, okay, yeah, she's going to be a generic yellow attack burn character, but it's looking like there is still that possibility. I mean, again, we have not had an off dot on a package outside of Mr. Karate before. And of course, Mr. Karate, as we've covered, does not have a dot, so it made sense for him. With her, it would make more sense if she had a burnstone in here, but she doesn't. So on 2 of these packages, you're actually going to see this listed on here. So it's pretty interesting to see that they are giving away Starlight Circle Plus imprint stones in here. I'm kind of curious to see what her kit looks like, because there is still every chance that that might be on her kit, which to me doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But then again, I guess if they're trying to come for our rubies, then I guess it would. But yeah, we'll see. We have no confirmation whatsoever. Burn makes sense for her, obviously, and she definitely is probably going to have that, considering, like I said, the Gigaproto data mine, when he was actually able to show a little bit of gameplay with her, she had burn on her dots there. So well, overall, we'll see. We only have a few hours to go. I know a lot of people are hyped for this release. I am as well, so hopefully it ends up being good. But let's take a look at some of this other information here as it pertains to some of these in-game events. Now, we're going to get another super mission. This one's going to be one of the fighter selection events, so if you guys have not been around for the previous ones we've had like this, basically you can pick what character you want the memory for on your super mission at the start. So this lineup, I will actually show a pop-up on screen since they decided not to put it in here, but it does have some pretty decently interesting characters, like this Alice we're actually going to be talking about a little bit today. for her leadership skill with the Rachel thing that we're going to be going over. But overall, there's also going to be a Valentine's King on here that makes me happy. But yeah, I mean, it's stuff. I mean, it's not anything crazy. At least with these types of events, we don't have to babysit them or use a bunch of AP or grind or anything like that. They're typically pretty straightforward for the most part. We'll have to wait and see what this one looks like, obviously, but I have a hard time believing it's going to change much from the norm, which is typically a pretty easy process overall. So yeah, pretty nice. Now, the next thing on here is we're going to be getting a Iori in Wonderland roulette event. Now, that is going to be pretty nice for free-to-play players or budget players or new players, because this Iori, as we talked about when we did our different gold border recommendations, she's actually a pretty decent character overall. So if you're a budget player, this is pretty nice, and you can get a memory for her, hopefully, or 3, and be able to get her pretty well built up. She's a decent character, like I said, but with the roulettes going away that we currently have, we figured this was going to happen here soon. We typically have a roulette going at some point, no matter what. But the next thing a lot of people are going to be excited about, it looks like they've been listening to us, and they are cutting the AP consumption in half for several different things in-game. So we're going to have half AP consumption for XP Dungeon, Core Dungeon, Gold Dungeon, as well as for the Weekly Battle Card Dungeon. That was a lot tougher to say than I thought it would be, but that's pretty nice. With the amount of events that have been coming for our AP lately, it's nice to have that kind of docked for a while. And then they're also going to be giving us increased item drops for Soul Quest, which is always beneficial and always nice, because even if you're somebody that is not trying to build a character, you can take advantage of that and exchange those extra souls for the gold, or the purple dust rather, in your exchange shop for your tokens, which will come in handy for characters like Mian when they drop, which we're going to be going in with quite a few tokens if she ends up being as good as she will hopefully be, but we'll have to wait. And that's overall going to be the news. Not a whole lot else outside of that. Like I said, the biggest thing here is going to be the fact that we are going to be getting our newest FES fighter added, which is always exciting. We'll be taking a look at her in tomorrow's video and breaking her down, and if she ends up being a character we feel will be of benefit to us, we'll go ahead and pull for her. We still have quite a few tokens saved up, even after going a little bit for Elisabeth, but not going too hard. So yeah, guys, this stuff is going to be happening here very soon. We'll be getting Mian tonight, and then we will be getting, obviously, these events. It's looking like the next day. So overall, good stuff. Now let's go ahead and get into the rest of today's video, which is going to concern this Rachel glitch exploit thing. I don't know, we'll discuss it and figure it out. Alrighty, you guys, so the next thing I wanted to talk about, I wasn't even sure if I wanted to cover, but a lot of people are talking about it on Discord and on YouTube, and I'll link to the original video that kind of sparked this conversation. But basically, with this, you're going to pay attention to when the shield is up. I will slow things down as per usual to try and show you, but basically what people are posturing is there's a glitch/exploit with the damage on the shield in Guild Raid Hard Mode with Rachel only, and I'm about to pause it here so you can see it, but basically what they say you need to do is hit your 1 skill, your 3 skill, your 2 skill, and then hit your melee quickly. So basically you're going to cycle through your skills 1, 3, and 2, and then you're going to hit your melee attack, your basic attack string, real quick, and it just causes a big explosion of damage on the shield. Now, could this be a visual glitch? Maybe. I can't get this to replicate the amount of damage on the shield with other combinations of skills with my Rachel. So this could be a glitch, it could be an exploit, I don't know. All I know is I have 300+ million damage on one run using only Rachel. Now pay attention to the shield, it goes from 70-some odd percent right there, down to about 40-some odd percent. So about 30% of shield in the rotation of, it basically goes from just using her S2 there and her melee attack. Because I had already used the 1 and the 3 before the damage just dropped off there like a rock. So you'll see it throughout this video. I'm not going to slow down every single rotation of it. I do it quite a bit in this video, obviously. That's the way I'm able to do 300+ million damage on this run using just her. You'll see it again there. And you'll see how the shield just completely explodes off of him. Now, I don't know what this is. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I can confirm one way or the other what this is, but I can tell you that the amount of damage, like I said, that I am outputting and the amount of shield shred she has doing this string is absurd, and I can't replicate it using, like, I can't just go 2-1-3 or 3-2-1 or whatever the case may be and get it to replicate. So it seems like there's something in just doing 1-3-2 melee that causes this kind of shield explosion when the shield is up. Now, obviously, this is very beneficial for this run, because if you have Rachel, then you're obviously able to drop the shield very quickly and continue to put on as much damage as possible. In fact, I almost hit 200 million damage before we hit the 1 minute marker in this run, which in and of itself is absurd considering the fact I never even switch out from her. Now, to do this, you appear to need to use, I don't know if you need to one way or the other, use the Valentine Alice as your leader. That is going to give you the 65% attack increase for your red element fighters. And then I am using the Tekken set. Now, I've heard mixed kind of stories. There's not a lot to go on with this because it's all guesswork from people. But people are either in the camp of saying you need the Tekken set or you don't need the Tekken set. So I don't know. I have not thoroughly tested this because I don't even know how much there is to this one way or the other. But if you can manage to get that rotation every single time, like I'm not able to, like right there, I wasn't able to do it correctly. I haven't admittedly practiced it a ton because, again, it's not something that I felt like was necessarily relevant at all. I thought it was going to get patched out pretty quick. It might not even be an exploit, it might just be the fact that Rachel's dumb. But it does appear as if there's something wonky going on. Now, again, that appearance of about 30-40% of the shield just dropping off in an instant could just be a visual glitch too. I don't know. So people who are saying that this is some sort of glitch or exploit, without even a hint of an asterisk behind it, might be a little off base, but who knows? I don't know. It's one of those things, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and just, keep telling you guys I don't know, but I don't. So there you go. However, hopefully you find this entertaining because it is pretty funny to watch Rachel just 1v1 this Rugal and just, he can't do anything to her. It's kind of hilarious. But yeah, I do over 300 million damage with her. I'm not able to replicate it using any other combination. So it very well could be that this is some sort of bug in the system that will eventually get patched out. If you guys want to try this out for yourselves, go right ahead. Like I said, I think that from what people have said, you need to have the Tekken set, which I am running on here. We'll take a look at cards later after this run so I can show you guys exactly what I'm running on it in case you want to try and replicate it or replace certain cards like the Tekken set if you don't have it and try it yourself and see what your luck is. But again, you want to go 1, 3, 2 and quickly hit your melee right after that chain of attacks. Try to avoid whenever he is trying to use his little shield on you too, because you won't be able to move quick enough to use it. I tried it when he had that up several times and I wasn't able to get that kind of damage on his shield the way I am when he doesn't have it up. So keep that in mind. But yeah, overall, pretty interesting stuff. A lot of people had asked me for this, so I figured I would go ahead and at least show it to you guys again. I don't know what this is one way or the other. All I know is it's kind of crazy the amount of shields she can take down in a little amount of time. I believe she basically took the shield, the way I timed it, from 99% or so down to 0% in about 3 seconds, 2.5 seconds, which is way quicker than any other character that I can think of in these types of modes. So, again, your mileage may vary. I'll show you the cards here. You'll see the damage I was able to do on that single run there. If you guys want to try and replicate this, go right ahead, but we'll go ahead and take a look. The other characters are largely irrelevant because you're never going to use them. I could have just had Alice as the leader and used Rachel, but this is the card set that I am using. It's the Tekken set to get the increase to the critical rate as well as to be able to spam the finishers as much as humanly possible in those runs because you are going to be focused on using your finishers here. And then I'm using the Gintama collab card for the increase to the critical rate by 1.7% as well. And then I'm using the new Leona option card. So those are the cards I'm using. Again, you don't need to worry about anything else. Just use your Rachel and then use Alice as your leader. And if you have the option of using the Tekken set, go ahead and use it. If you don't, you may want to try the Iori and Wonderland set or something along the lines of that, or any other set like a Leah set maybe too you could use, and see if you can replicate this. But that's that, guys. Just wanted to show that to you real quick. Now let's go ahead and get into a brief summon session. Alright, you guys, so let's go ahead and do a brief summon session. I have 20 tickets for the All-Star Fighter Summon banner that we can use. Maybe we'll get lucky and get a FES that we need. If not, then if we get a FES in general, that's always nice because it's good fodder, but looking like the first multi here is going to be dead. Hopefully this next one isn't, but figured we go ahead and do these real quick and just get these out of the way. Like I said, anything that you get from these, if it's a FES, is typically useful at this point, especially when you've already got most of your characters at A5. Oh, a FES. Hopefully it's something we need. Not much we do need at this point, but, oh, well, we don't need that, speaking of. That's 0. Okay, well, that works. Ours is already at A5, so it is what it is. We can use it as fodder later on for an invitation or something like that, but, well, that was uneventful, but hey, I mean, we got a FES, so we can't complain, but, alright, yeah, so that is that. I would like to show you guys some card summons. I had about 30 tickets earlier, but with the glitch going on, I can't, so rip to that idea, but let's go ahead and move on to the next part of the video. So the last bit of news that I wanted to throw in here for you guys is something that just came out of nowhere yesterday, and that is that the King of Fighters 2002 Unlimited match is now officially on the PlayStation 4, and it has rollback netcode and all kinds of fun stuff going on here. I'm super excited for this. I have not picked it up yet, but it is currently available. For those of you who do not know, if you can't tell from watching the trailer, which this is the announcement trailer here, I'm a bit of a fan if you kind of think back to my intros for my videos, but I'm a big fan of this installment in the series. This is one of my favorites, and I am definitely going to be picking this up. Now, I believe it's running for around $14.99 on the PlayStation Network. So if you want to pick it up, it's going to run you about 15 bucks US, at least from what I was able to decipher last night when I looked it up. But it is on there, it is available, it does have rollback netcode. All of your favorite characters that you would expect from the game are here, including Nameless. So overall, this is pretty cool stuff. I mean, this is a game that a lot of people have been wanting a release on the PlayStation or the Xbox for, and we're finally getting it. And the fact that it has rollback netcode is just icing on the cake at this point. You'll see here the cinematics and everything look phenomenal. Everything about this just looks great. This is a great game. If you haven't played this one, I highly recommend it. If you have never gotten a chance to, I would pick it up now and try it out, because there's a lot of stuff in here to keep you busy with this game, and it does feature a ton of characters that are kind of fan favorites that you don't normally see in a lot of King of Fighters games these days, as in Nameless primarily, but it is a game that a lot of people really love for a lot of reasons, and it is one of my favorites, so I would highly recommend that you pick this guy up. This looking like it is going to be there for the foreseeable future. This isn't a timed release or anything stupid like that, Nintendo, but yeah, so overall, for those of you who don't know, that was a shot at Nintendo for their goofy special edition releases, which they need to stop because it's anti-consumer and we all hate it. Thanks, bye. Anyway, that is going to be today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We will be back tomorrow taking a look at the new updates, including Mian. Smash like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. I will talk to you in the next one. Peace.
Continue.